after about a year and a half of eating the right foods and running a bunch and getting a lot of cardio in, I basically plateaued. And that time I was going to school, I was getting a job, I was dating to get married, and so that's where all of my energy and focus was. It was no longer on how can I fix this thing. I had accepted and fully, I'd accepted my fate and the cross that I was to bear, and I buried my hope deep in the ground. And I think at that time that was probably the healthiest thing to do. Not always the case, but in this case I think it was. There were a couple moments this week that really just kind of blew me away. When I came to cognitive effects, I could not so much as read a paragraph and answer more than 2 questions about that paragraph. And we're talking like small paragraph. I couldn't answer more than 2 questions with nothing in between, no distraction whatsoever, not only reading it, but reading it out loud. And within 2 days, I could memorize all of the data in 2 separate paragraphs, answer 20 questions with no prompting, and without any kind of questioning, I was able to rattle off all of the facts about various like national monuments and stuff like that. So not necessarily important information, but that was a huge breakthrough for me because it was quite clear that like 2 or 3 days previously, I could not do that. I've noticed similar feats in some different areas, and that's been really great. My brain has not fully healed, and I've not got all the sleep I've wanted to to feel like as great as I want to. But it's been undeniable that, based on the scores that I received, it was a 1.82 to begin with, and then 0.05 now, which is significant improvement. It's basically a normal brain. My abilities at work, my abilities as a husband and as a future father will just be better. I'll just be better equipped to deal with the things that I've been able to deal with. And I understand and have some sympathy for those who have received injuries and are taken out of their lives. That happened to me for a period of 9 months, but then I was able to go back into my life and function. And again, a lot of air quotes here, just tons of air quotes, because I could do about 75% or 80% of what any other person could do. So I was able to get through school. I graduated from the University of Houston. I was able to find someone who wanted to be with me forever. Her name's Laura, and she's awesome. And I was able to keep and hold jobs and move and progress that way. So that's been really great, and I understand that not everyone is able to do that. But it was really hard all that time. And I think going forward, the breakthrough that I've had is the realization that I can keep working hard at work, but it doesn't have to destroy me. It doesn't have to bankrupt me emotionally, mentally, physically. That I can still have a little piece of myself to be a husband, to be a father, and to play some video games too sometimes. I'm extremely hopeful. So that hope that I told you that I buried in the ground, like I digged the earth and I threw hope in the ground and I buried it alive, has been unearthed now, and it's fully within me. Gosh, this sounds so hippie, but like I really I'm really excited for the future. I'm excited to be productive in all my work endeavors. I'm excited to be as smart as I used to be, like 10, 11 years ago, before my most recent concussion. I'm excited to contribute to the world and not have to, clock in for work and then right at the end of the work I'm spent. I'm excited to have just a little bit of extra juice to kind of give and to share with people. And so that's what I'm so excited about. And not having a headache for like, 14 hours a day. That'd be nice. So I'm very excited about that. Yeah. To those considering treatment, part of the reason I'm making this video is because I watched all of them. There are 123 at the time of me watching them. So I watched all of them. And I'd say do your research, look at your options. There are probably not many options, but look at your options. One of the two things that sent me to Cognitive FX over a competitor, who'll remain nameless, they also do great work, was the fact that they incorporate exercise, which is the only thing that alleviated my symptoms at all before. So I'll just say it again, but more clearly. Like, the reason I came to Cognitive FX over a competition was because of a few things. Number one, their reduction in symptoms is higher than anywhere else. At least at this time, it was 75 or 77% reduction in symptoms. Number two, they use the fMRI, so they get an actual image of the brain, and based on that actual image of how you actually perform, they base your treatment plan. And so they're not guessing, right? They're looking at the very thing that needs healing. And the third thing, and this was actually pretty important to me, was that they incorporate exercise, and kind of intense exercise actually, so buckle up. And what that allows is just greater healing and your body's natural process for fixing yourself. And anywhere else I looked, they didn't incorporate it to the same extent or even at all, the way that Cognitive FX incorporates that. And so those three things really led me here. We did a ton of research. And then of course, I did have a friend refer me here who had experienced it too. So whether or not you have a friend who's been here, you should seriously consider it. And it's worth the money. It's a good chunk of change. But I feel like a different person than I did on Monday. And it's a Friday morning. So if you want to make a change in like less than 5 days of your life, and you've been suffering and you want relief, I would look into it. I would do a consultation with Dr. Fong and whoever else, and make it happen. The people here, not only will they work you really hard, but they are insanely supportive, and they're effervescent, they're smiling, they really do care about you, they learn your name, and they give you individual attention that's specifically for you. Every single one of the sessions are one-on-one, unless you're on like a treadmill, and then there's still like 3 instructors and like 4 people in the room. So if you ever have any questions, if ever your program needs to be adjusted, if ever anything needs to happen to make it more comfortable for you or more targeted to healing something that you want healed, they can do that on the fly.